Hey guys, Chimera45 here. Welcome to my review of last week's episode of Dragon Ball Super. I know it's another week late, and I apologize, but like I've been saying, crazy weeks, so I just want to upload this one and then go and review the next episode, or go watch the next episode and get that review up. So this review is going to be just a little bit quicker than the last ones. So we get the whole recap of last week's episode with Beerus beating up Majin Buu and all that, and then we get our title screen here, which is how dare you do that to my Bulma, Vegeta's Metamorphosis of Fury, which is a kind of an awkward title, but hey, it gets the point across at the end. So everyone's running around to the side of the ship to see what's going on. They all look over and see Vegeta's sweating and just petrified. Beerus is looking down at him like, yeah, this is exactly what happens when you mortals piss me off. So Bulma comes up and she's like, hey Vegeta, usually I try to tell you to calm down and not fight people, but go beat the hell out of this guy. So Vegeta goes up and he's like, oh, come on, Beerus, Lord Beerus, can't you just, allow me to deal with Majin Buu for you? And then Beerus is just like, get out of my way right now before I destroy you. So Vegeta has no choice but to just back down, and Piccolo's like, wow, even Vegeta's really scared of this guy. Who is he? So then Dende, well, first we see Dende trembling in fear, and Piccolo's like, what's going on with Dende? And then Buu pops back up and goes to fight Beerus again, and Beerus is just not having it. He just keeps flicking away Majin Buu. And we see Whis getting ready to eat some sushi at one of the sushi bars Bulma has at her party. And Beerus is telling him he wants to leave, but Whis is like, in a few minutes, I still have to eat my food. So Beerus is like, whatever. And then while Beerus and Whis are talking, Goten and Trunks do a fusion and form Gotenks, who goes and tries to confront Beerus. But after pissing Beerus off by calling him childish for throwing a temper tantrum over pudding, Beerus has enough of Gotenks' mouth and literally just slaps his arm a dozen times until his arm swells up like a balloon. And Piccolo's like, wow, even the fusion has no chance against this guy. He really must be strong. So then we get Tien, Piccolo, and 18 all come and try to do something against Beerus, but he's just dodging their attacks like it's nothing until he just gets bored of the whole thing and opens his eye really widely and knocks them all back, damaging them all really, really badly. Vegeta's watching all this unfold like, these idiots, they don't stand a chance against him. So Beerus yells to Whis, and he's like, come on Whis, I'm ready to go, but Whis has just gotten his food. And food always looks so much better in animes and cartoons and stuff like that. It's kind of not fair. But anyway, Whis enjoys some of his food and then goes up to Beerus and he's like, oh, don't worry, Lord Beerus. We can leave soon. I'm just going to pack up this sampler tray for you so you can have some food for later. And Beerus is like, oh, okay, whatever. So we cut over to Mr. Satan, who Videl and Gohan are helping get back on his feet. And Gohan takes off his glasses and he's like, this is a kind of power that we really shouldn't have tampered with. And as Whis and Beerus are talking, Majin Buu comes back again, but it's just the same repeat as last time. Buu is just getting torn to shreds. While Buu is trying to deal with Beerus, Chi-Chi's yelling at Krillin because Krillin didn't do anything to fight against Beerus while 18 did. And Krillin's like, oh, come on, I'm not a fighter anymore. And Yamcha goes to say to Krillin, oh, don't worry, I'll watch your little girl for you while you go fight. Piccolo's like, don't even bother, Krillin. This isn't something that any of us teaming up will be able to overcome. So then we cut over to Dende, who's shaking like a leaf, and he's like, I recognize what he is now. He's a god. And Piccolo's like, what? A god? I guess that would explain why he's able to tear apart Majin Buu like that. So as we see Beerus holding Majin Buu by the leg, all beat up and not even a scratch on Beerus, Gohan decides to power up and see if he can do something. But he gets knocked out with just one hit as well. Now at this point in time, Gohan, it's only been like what? I think they said like 6 months after the Buu saga. Either way, it hasn't been like a 7-year gap like it was between the Cell saga and the Buu saga, so Gohan's power hasn't diminished as much as it did between that 7-year gap. So he's still relatively strong in comparison to the rest of the Z fighters. So when he gets knocked out, everyone's like, wow, this dude is strong, because Gohan's like one of our strongest people here. So Beerus is getting annoyed, and he's just telling Whis, come on, we're going, I'm tired of this. But Vegeta is suddenly snapping out of it, like, how can I just sit here and watch all of these guys try to fight Beerus when I'm not doing anything? And he gets all pissed off, like, no matter as hard as he tried to keep Beerus entertained, it didn't amount to anything, and he pretty much made a fool out of himself for nothing. So he's like, screw it, the Saiyan Prince will bow to no one ever again, and powers up to a Super Saiyan and goes to attack Beerus, but once again, Beerus just stops him with a look. And while he's taunting Vegeta, he has some really, really cool lines of dialogue here, Beerus does. If you haven't checked out the English dub, go check it out. He has some really cool lines right here. And as he's more or less just taunting Vegeta, telling him how weak he is, he just flicks his finger down and sends Vegeta to the ground, and then stomps his face in, knocking Vegeta out of Super Saiyan and all that. And everyone's like, Vegeta, what's wrong? Or, no, they're not asking what's wrong. They're just like, oh my god, Vegeta, this guy is unstoppable. And Beerus is telling Vegeta that he's just like his father, just a weakling beneath Beerus's heel. And Beerus gets ready to destroy everybody by powering up his attack, and Vegeta's like, death by a destroyer god, I don't think there's anything more honorable than that. And Beerus is like, you're right, and gets ready to unleash the attack, when all of a sudden we hear footsteps, and smack! Bulma smacks Beerus right across his face. It doesn't hurt him or anything, but it, like, shocks him, and he just looks at her like, are you kidding me? And Bulma's like, hey, I'm being a very gracious host here, and I've had just about enough of you ruining my birthday party. So as she's blah, 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 Beerus is just looking at her, and she's like, what? If you want to say something, say it. So he just gives this really sinister grin and lifts up his pimp hand. That's like the only way I can describe it, is he readies his pimp hand. And Vegeta's like, Beerus, no, please don't do it. And then, smack! Beerus smacks Bulma, and Vegeta flips the fuck out. For a second, I thought we were going to get Majin Vegeta back in here or something like that, because he's just like, he's gripping his face, he's looking through his fingers at Beerus like, how dare you do that to my Bulma? And he powers up to, I'm pretty sure he powers up to a Super Saiyan 2. And it's not stated at the end of this episode. It might be stated in this week's episode. I'm not entirely sure yet. I haven't watched it. But it's stated many times in, it's stated one time in Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods and in the Dragon Ball Super Japanese dub that at this point in time, Vegeta's power has surpassed Goku's power. He got pissed enough that his power rose above Goku's even as a Super Saiyan 3. So everyone's just staring in shock at Vegeta's power. Even Gohan's like, holy shit. Whis is looking at it like, whatever. And Beerus is like, maybe you'll provide a little bit more of a challenge now. And Vegeta's just pissed off, and he's like, mark my words, Beerus. Mark them well. You will suffer for what you have done. And that's pretty much how the episode ends, with Vegeta just really, really, really pissed off. And yeah, that's pretty much episode 7 of Dragon Ball Super. I'm pretty sure it's episode 7. Yeah. So overall, I thought this was a pretty good episode. Really good animation, great voice acting, great dialogue. Like, seriously, Beerus's dialogue to Vegeta, it's just pure gold in my opinion. I'm not saying it's the best of the best out there, but I was just listening to it like, damn, Beerus. You're just tearing Vegeta apart physically and mentally. The fighting was good. The animation for the fighting was really good. The choreography was really good. Beerus, of course, didn't even get touched by anybody, as he shouldn't. And just overall, it's a really, really, really entertaining episode. Especially if you're a Vegeta fan and you like seeing Vegeta have a cool moment. This isn't one of his coolest moments, but where he powers up is a really intense moment, so you'll enjoy that as a Vegeta fan. I don't think you'll enjoy watching him get beat up so easily, but the only thing I think about this episode that I didn't like is how easily Gohan got taken out. You know, he just got hit by Fat Boo and he was taken down like that. I don't really think that's appropriate, but whatever. So yeah, that is episode 7 of Dragon Ball Super English Dub. I hope you all enjoyed my review. Go check out Dragon Ball Super if you haven't already. And I will see you in a little bit for a review of episode 8. Thank you all for watching.